Hmm? Are you guys related? So I went to the kitchen the other morning to warm up some stale coffee in the microwave. Look what showed up. Rusty and I exchanged stickers via microwaves, and they finally showed up. Yeah, I got a pretty old microwave, so they took a while. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he's got an excellent channel. He's a funny guy. He's kind of like a kindred spirit. He makes stuff out of nothing, and some of it's quite impressive, actually. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, you definitely should. Right beside the boys here. Voila! So yeah, I picked this up a while back. I was just perusing the Facebook Marketplace and I saw it there and I just had to have it. So I picked this up probably last autumn. Here's a picture of it with the stones and stuff still on it. So I have never actually used paint stripper before or any chemicals to remove paint. It was always with the buffing wheel. But this is that, I don't know if this is lead based or how long this has been painted, but I absolutely cannot stand silver paint. I don't know. There's just something about it. So I've got some chemical stripper. I'm going to throw that in the tub and splash some stuff on it. All right, so I guess it says right about here somewhere you're supposed to wear the appropriate PPE. And possibly some inappropriate PPE. Just stick all the stuff in there. Let me just do one thing at a time. Certainly got a powerful odor to it. Yeah, we're just gonna test it out. We'll see what that does. Oh, it's working. This stuff is disgusting. Well, it appears to be working. But, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this outside. All right. I gooped them all up pretty good. And then took them to Buddy's with the pressure washer and cleaned them off. For the most part. Whatever's left, I think I can just buff off with the buffing wheel. I might actually hit this with some brake cleaner or something after too. Alright, so I think I got most of it off of there. Good enough to paint, I think. I've never really used that stuff before or anything like it, so. And I've never been. Painting is actually probably my weakest area of expertise. You know, right next to machining. The only difference is I like machining. So I hit off the excess, or I knocked off the excess, whatever paint was left on there with the buffing wheel on the bench grinder. And then I also hit it with the brake cleaner to take off any excess stripper that might be left on there. And hopefully that does the trick. Like I said, I am not a painter at all. Well, this was some kind of weird color green before. I'm going to paint it gray. So it matches the rest of my junk. Directions. Shake can vigorously for 1 minute. 10 to 16 inches, holy shit. Okay. pretty thick quickly. Huh. My God, I think I got it, guys. I don't see any runs yet. Alright, well it says it's going to need several coats. Well, a couple coats and then it dries to the touch in 20 minutes. Fully dry in 24 hours. Okay, well, so that's going to take a bit. We'll get back to that. Now this is the arbor that came with this old grinder. I did get some new bearings for it. I did actually stick it in between centers and it doesn't look too bad. It's a bearing. Well, that's pretty loose. It feels actually like it's going to spin inside the bearing. Yeah. We're going to make a new one. Alright, well we got some 4140 heat treat in there. It's pretty ugly looking stuff to be honest, but I'm going to be, since it's an arbor, I think it's probably a good idea to turn it between centers. It's a little bit on the long side, but I think most of the work's going to be close to the tailstock or close to the headstock anyway, so should be all right. All right, now I'll flip it around and do the exact same thing to the other side, I guess. All right, apply our dog, dead center in the tailstock. Make sure your centers are all cleared out too. There's one little chip in there can actually throw it off quite a bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a long piece for this unit. Now this is supposed to fit a 5/8 pulley, so I'm going to take a few measurements on it. See if we can't just take a few thou off there just to clean it up. It's pretty ugly. I'm hoping it's big. Yeah, but not by much. 4 thousandths there. 6 there. 5 and a bit there. It's kind of going all over the place here just to see where it's 5 and a bit. So I can take like 5 thou off there. I think I'll just sharpen up a good high-speed steel tool and try to take a few thou off there just to take those high spots out. They're pretty bad. Only about 2.5 thou depth. Hopefully it works out. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Try faster or slower, I don't know. Yeah, see, look at those roller marks in there. Holy shit. That's what I was trying to true up because there was lots of, yeah, that's some really ugly steel. Well, I think our pulley will sit on there okay. That's really all it's for. I'm going to take those really high ridges off. Kind of curious though now. We can get a good spot to read here. How much taper I got. And we're reading, well, 1 thou under 5/8, 624 thousandths. And holy cow, that's a lot of taper. 628. Wow, yeah, that's not very good. Alright, I moved the tailstock over a couple thou. Hopefully that does it. I started off with nothing on this end and it's starting to take a little bit off this side, so we'll see. And well, 2 thou under. And well, actually, yeah, this is 2 thou under. This is a little over than 2 thou under. This is about 2.5. No, well, you guys can see that. on this end. Yeah. I call that good. Let's go ahead and do some marking on here. Where center should be. And about where the rest of it should be. And we got just under 11 1/4 inches total for that. So we need to go 5 5/8 about. Not going to go exactly, but close. I think about 5.6 inches is center, give or take. Yeah, that'll be good. And these are my junk ones. Don't worry. Admit the Toyos don't get this treatment. Now it's a millimeter bearing, so I believe the measurement we're looking for is 590.5 or 0.6. But I think if we get it within half a thou, that should be pretty good. Better than that other sloppy that's going on there. Alright, so I remarked where the bearing race is going to be. It was looking a little short, and I went and double checked, and you know, sure enough it was. I had measured the outside of the race instead of this. Yeah. Anyways, so we got to take off 623 minus 590, like 33 thousandths or so. And we'll keep it slow. Yeah, in case it starts vibrating again, I guess. So I think we'll get it close and then probably use a emery cloth and file or something to get it all the way. So technically shooting for 590, 1 1/2 or something like that. I don't really like this tool because it does this big long strings on it, but it turns into a shoulder. So I kind of need it. Yeah, we're 2 thou over, so that's okay. I know my big lathe file will take care of that pretty quick. There we go. Yeah, for those of you who don't have a lathe file, you really don't know what you're missing. They take off some serious material. Yeah, took off half a thou just right doing that. That smoke. Yeah, that actually generates some heat, that file. It's pretty impressive. I think this will probably be good enough. Yep, we're within 1 thou, half a thou. By the time we emery cloth it off, she'll be spot on. Slightly dirty 400 grit. That's probably pretty good. And I really only need this one part to be on the money here, so 590 and 4/10. So we are 2/10 off. That's perfect. That should just about do that. Now, our bearing is just a little under 1/2 inch, so we'll just probably keep it simple. We'll line that up right on the, right there. And we'll give her a 1/2 inch. Well, a little less. That seems like too much. Let's do this right. Let's do this right. Bearing is way less than 1/2 inch. 431, 2. That's half, so go back. We'll give it 435. Should be lots. 440. 440. Because there's gonna be a little chamfer on the end there. Forgot about that. All right, now I just got to take it down to accommodate a 1/2 13 thread. All right, that should be very, very close. And 2 thou over, or less than 2 thou over, which is about right where I wanted it. And we're about 9/10 over. Not quite 1/1000 over. Yeah, it should be okay. Well, maybe. That's probably going too fast. Doesn't like pussyfooting around, I guess. Now, just for shits and giggles here, let's see how good our bearing seat is. There's our bearing, 6202. It's not going to spin on there. It could have been a little tighter. Better than the other thing, because it was, you know, yeah, it's not going to spin on the shaft. That's all I want, just not, so it's not spinning on there. All right, well, that's pretty much one side done. Just got to do that to the other. So there's our new arbor. Still got to do a couple threads on there. Got to do a left-hand thread and a right-hand thread, both 1/2 13. But as far as I can tell, we're pretty good on dimensions here. This one's actually a little on the short side too, so. Well, actually, this one's pretty good. So it looks like it turned out really good, actually. You know, the bearings both fit relatively snug on their seats, I guess. And this isn't turning on the shaft, so that's kind of what I was shooting for. So I grounded a slight radius in this parting tool. I got to do the thread relief on this end and then flip it over and do it for the other side. Just because there's not enough room for this with the tailstock in the road. So we'll see how this works out. Not too shabby. Alright, so now hypothetically I should be able to just flip this around without even having to move the carriage. And that is the beauty of turning between centers, folks. And voila! It's not a very big one, but I think we can make it do. So I guess we can start with either left or right hand thread. Really makes no difference to me. And we should have enough. Oh yeah, we got enough in there. I'm gonna set up the thread dial. Now since it's an odd thread, I think we gotta start at the same number. I think we are ready for a scratch pass here. Shut that down. Set it back to 0. There's our half 13. And we're looking good. Come on, baby. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Oh. No, I think that's gonna be good enough. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll work. It's tight, super tight. There you go. That's the left hand one done. All right, so this thread worked out really good. That's our left hand side. No, I just got a pretty straightforward right hand thread to do. I was considering dyeing it, but since we're all set up for single point anyway, and to be honest, I could use the practice. So I'm gonna, I'll just thread this out, and we'll be done with the turning. I'll see you back at the bench. All right, well there's our shiny new arbor. Threads are looking pretty spiffy. I think these nuts could be a little bit, well they are. They're definitely a little bit chowdered up, but they'll do, I guess. I don't even smell exactly like I have abundance of left hand nuts. This one works really good. But all in all, there's our arbor. I haven't quite decided on what size pulley I'm gonna be able to even fit in there. All I'm probably gonna do with that is just maybe mill a flat in there for the set screw to sit on. And that's probably about it. So you probably won't get into that. I hit these with the buffer, cleaned them up a bit. I'm not entirely certain about these either because they're kind of small. I would actually like them a little bit on the bigger side. But my paint job worked okay, surprisingly. It still feels a little tacky to the touch, so I'm not going to put it back together yet. And I forgot to hit the back side of this, but got a little bit, I guess. But for all I can tell, there's no runs in that. Just a couple missed spots. So I'm really happy with my paint job. That's the first time I did spray paint anything without a buttload of runs in it. So looks good. Well, I think that's all I'm really going to have time for this evening, guys. This little grinder's still got a ways to go yet. I still gotta figure out what to do with these. As you can see, someone yeah, well, you know what happened there. This one's not quite as bad. And then they just have these little dealies that come off the side. I don't know, they're labeled? No, the other ones are. These just come off of here. And then these come off of there. And that's it. Pretty simple. But they're not, it's not that crappy tin that you see. These are actual cast iron. I have no idea what kind of brand this is. There's no maker mark on it or nothing. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for tonight, folks. Don't forget to check out Rustinox's channel. He's got a very entertaining channel, so go ahead and check him out. And in the meantime, guys, you have a good week. Peace out.